Welcome back to another episode of Grid I Am Bangahz. I'm here with my two goons over here. Say hello once again.
Hola.
Um, um, with the NFL trade deadline coming up on October 31st, and definitely a lot of teams looking to start selling a lot of product. We're gonna go over our trade candidates for this upcoming deadline. Kind of give you who we think might be up there, might be moving in the next few weeks, and some people we might have a place to go. Some we just gotta see. But yeah, we'll start with you, Bryson. Who's your first candidate to be moved?
Do you want to do each one of us do one and then
Yeah,
next
we'll
one
just
and then, or
bounce.
just all of mine at one time?
Just give one, and we'll just bounce off.
All right. So I think I wasn't the only one who kind of had this, but I'm just gonna start us off with it. I'm gonna throw Derrick Henry out there. Obviously, kind of the biggest name running back right now, at least in terms of who's actually tradable. Uh, we just saw Jonathan Taylor, sign that deal. So not going to be see any moves from him. He was kind of the biggest name, at least coming into the season. Didn't think he was going to be sticking it out with the Colts, but this kind of opens up for the Titans. We've seen obviously just recently, Jake's Eagles just kind of had a transaction with them, getting Bird. So we know that the Titans are open to deal. Uh, Kind of a factor of Tannehill and the injury, not looking like, how long, kind of questionable how long he's going to be out. Obviously, we're talking, we're hearing Malik Willis, Will Levis, going to be playing this week. So I think if you're looking at it just from like an organizational standpoint, if you look at Derrick Henry, he's 29 years old. We've seen just historically running back peaks usually kind of start falling off of their peak at the age of 27. Um, Obviously, he's 2 years past that, 29, going to be turning 30 next season. It's hard to like want to move on from that type of running back, but I think if you're looking at the future, you have your rookie quarterbacks, your young quarterbacks, Willis Levis. You got a couple young guys, receivers. What's his name? What's their young receiver? Treylon Burks. Uh,
Yeah.
Not a lot, a whole lot. Obviously, kind of one of the bigger names on defense was Bird. Their defense isn't great. Kind of not the worst, but not a lot of whole big names on that team. I think if you deal Derrick Henry now, I feel like this is the best time to do it simply because, he's only getting older. Like I said, the peak, you know, I, we've still seen Derrick Henry beat Derrick Henry. He's a freak of nature. He's a huge dude. He's obviously going to have value no matter what, just because of his size. I mean, you can kind of tell the speed's kind of just slowly, progressively, just falling off every year. But that just comes with age. But I definitely think he's still a relevant running back and definitely has a lot of value to him. And I think as for the Titans, I'm not sure how the draft picks look going into 2024. I think last time I looked, they weren't great. Not a lot of you're not going to be getting a lot of talent in that draft. I feel like now would be the best time to move him and just get your value in picks and just trying to. At this point, you're really looking at rebuilding because Tannehill's, even when he was getting them to the playoffs, didn't really get him past the first round, past the wild card. You're not betting on Tannehill to run the rest of your next 5 years, really, even that, if he even has that left in him. And Derrick Henry, maybe he's got a few more like top five running back years, maybe one or two at best. I don't think at the age of 31, 32, he's going to be, you know, leading the league and as a running back. So I feel like now is the best time to do it because we know how much the league hates running backs, just contract wise and usage wise, unless you're one of those just perfectly fit in a system like Christian McCaffrey type with the Niners. He fits perfectly with them. Um, but all we've seen recently from the Titans is Derrick Henry is really the Titans. When you think of the Titans, you think of Derrick Henry. So that's why it's like it's hard to move on from him, you know. But if you're looking at the future, he's not getting any younger. Tannehill's not getting any younger. You need to start getting some draft capital, getting some talent to go with Willis and Levis. If one of them turns out to be, you know, somewhat decent, obviously we haven't seen it. So we'll see with the Tannehill injury. That might open up. It's kind of a little late now that the deadline's coming up that they're actually deciding to play him now. Well, I mean, obviously they have to play him because Tannehill was hurt, but just the timing is really inconvenient for them. But I think he's the biggest name, at least in terms of who's in trade talks, but I likely don't see it happening. But I feel like right now would be the best time to do it because I think next year his value is going to go down.
You got a team in mind, or just
Um,
how he's gonna get
I
traded?
mean, I think at earlier in the season or coming into the season, there were a few other teams that I thought could use a running back, but then they kind of seemed to figure it out. Um, I think right now, the biggest team I think you mentioned, and it makes sense to me, is the Ravens. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins' injury. Your starter is Gus Edwards. Your backup is Justice Hill. Definitely lacking at the running back position, but I don't know. It almost seems like it kind of wouldn't. I feel like him and Lamar just wouldn't blend well because I feel like Henry's
Yeah,
just
I get what you mean.
a very like rush heavy running back. Like he needs attempts, and Lamar in that offense, it's just not. It's not going to happen. Um, other
Yeah,
than that, I mean, teams right now at running back aren't the teams that I feel like could use a running back. He wouldn't make sense with them just for the type of like system and the type of player that he is.
yeah, totally get it.
Definitely makes sense for the Ravens, but I really hope I never see that.
You
I
don't
mean,
want to see
in
that
terms
either.
of like having an actual running back finally, because the Ravens haven't had a running back for a while.
Ray Rice.
Yeah, it's been a while. Which I
Dobbins
mean,
looks okay when he's healthy. He looks
Lamar
decent.
is a running back essentially, you know, but I definitely think Lamar has for sure gotten better as a passer than his first early years. Um, I don't know. To me, it on paper it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, what is the one of the biggest pieces the Ravens are missing is a running back. But I don't know. I just don't. I in my head I can't see Lamar. I can't see Derrick Henry in the backfield behind Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, not in that offense. Not with the style of running plays that you want to run. They're not a
I don't
power
know.
run
It would
team,
be
right?
scary to see an option between Lamar and a read, a read option play between Lamar and Derrick Henry. That would be pretty scary to see. But
I
That's
want to
my
see that.
health.
See him stiff arm Levi Wallace or something. I don't know.
but that'd
All right,
be
yeah, throw that name out there. All
Nah,
right,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
struggled enough this season.
it's just sucks because like literally ever since Derrick Henry, that's just been the Titans' identity is Derrick Henry
Yeah.
and just mediocre play from Tannehill. Just barely good enough to get him to the wild card and then lose in the wild card or lose in the first round and kind of be irrelevant other than that. And then, you just see a couple highlights of Derrick Henry just manhandling people. And that's really all the Titans have had to show for it for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
Or however
definitely
long.
be weird.
Yeah.
Weird seeing him in another uniform at this point,
That too, yeah.
but
But
makes
like I
sense for
said,
everyone.
I mean, running like if you look at just statistically and historically running back peaks, they're usually from about the age of 23, 24 to like 27. So he's
Yeah.
29. I mean, I can't think of the last good running back over the age of like 31, 32. You really don't see a lot of running backs just dominate the league in their 30s.
Gonna be him. I believe it's gonna be him. He is the outlier.
I don't know. He is. I don't know. I feel like just with his build, he's just so massive that he'd just be somehow find a way to be relevant. But yeah, it's definitely going to fall off. It's definitely going to dip off. So it's whether or not they feel like they should move on now or just stick it out with him. Because I mean, either way, I think if they choose to stick it out, it's definitely going to create problems in the future if they don't build the draft capital to be able to, whether or not. Because if Levis and Willis don't end up working out and they have to make a move on a quarterback, then that kills future drafts because I gotta look. I haven't seen how their 25, 26 draft picks look, but obviously, if you're looking for a quarterback to be the future of your team, you're most likely looking in the first round. So
Yeah. I totally agree.
You want to give your name next, Jake?
Yeah, I get my first one. Honestly, I'm like same positions. Honestly, at least two same positions. So I'll go with this one. I know Daniil Hunter is the one I'm always hearing about from the Vikings. Obviously, I know they won on Monday, so maybe their outlook on the season looks a little bit different now. But I know that one thing's for certain, they're gonna move on from Kirk Cousins. So the only way they don't is if he takes them to the NFC Championship game. But I think regardless of how the season ends, they're gonna move on, and I think they want to accumulate as much draft picks as they can. So I can definitely see them trading away Daniil Hunter. I think the Jags are going to trade for him, just bolster up that defensive line. They already have Josh Allen over there, and I'm forgetting the Trayvon Walker. Obviously, that was definitely a reach. So maybe just make him
expectations.
Make him a rotational pass rusher at this point. Just throw in Daniil Hunter, let the other two eat on the edges. I think Jags can use a little bit more star power. Not saying he's a superstar, but I mean, it's definitely a great pass rusher. Has been for the last couple of years. Definitely underrated pass rusher.
Yeah, I actually could really see that trade.
Yeah.
Jaguars
Yeah,
definitely
that does make a lot of sense for the Jags. They really, yeah.
Yeah, the only question.
That defense is just sat right there in that kind of like not great, not good, should be better.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the real question now is the Vikings, because I think they're only a game out of wild card now. So
yeah,
it might not be
pretty bad.
Yeah,
other than
the only thing.
Yeah. I mean, but they're not going to win. They got to.
Yeah,
the whole NFC is bad. The whole NFC is bad, so they have a chance.
And they're moving on, for sure. Like I said, unless he takes them to NFC Championship game or something, I don't see them bringing him back. And they know there's quarterbacks.
Someone else can pay him big.
Kirk Cousins.
Atlanta, baby.
That'd be interesting. Well, that's another topic for another day. We'll see how far he actually goes. But I like that. For my trade candidate, I'm a little bit more optimistic, or not optimistic, hoping this will happen. But I got Patrick Surtain. I mean, same reason why we all have players from teams. Denver just not looking good. I felt like their young talent they have is just really not performed to their level. Receivers haven't been as great as we all thought. Javonte Williams dealing with an injury, but kind of slow coming back right now, still figuring out. And like I said earlier, that defense with Denver's just not that good, and you're paying Russ all this money. So I feel like they're gonna have to either rebuild, and your most valuable piece is Patrick Surtain. He proven that he's the number one corner for a team in this league, and you definitely would probably get upwards of probably 2 draft picks, maybe even a player involved. Still super young. I believe he might be still on his rookie contract, so
He is.
even more value to him. And yeah, Broncos just gonna have to force a rebuild pretty much coming up. They really haven't done anything good these last few years, and they have a lot of young players just not performing. So I got Surtain. I'm
Where?
gonna be hoping that he goes to Pittsburgh because we need corner help. I definitely think we're one of the top defenses in the league. I just think corner is that big missing piece for us, and we could lock down our cornerbacks for the next 4 to 5 years with him and Joey Porter. So I'm really hoping. And Omar Khan has been pulling the trigger on these kind of trading, not like we usually see from the Steelers. So I'm hoping, but I can see him going to many teams, a lot of contenders. Probably another option would even be the Bills. I think they lost Tre'Davious White. Not sure for how long, so I know they need another cornerback, and I
Good
mean,
one.
they're honestly any contending team would love to have another cornerback one in Patrick Surtain, and just how young he is. If you have the cap space, you could lock him down for many years to come. Just not have to worry about a position group that almost everyone in the NFL is constantly looking for that next guy at.
I like it. I mean, definitely the time if Steelers are going to make a trade for an ascending star cornerback. It's the time now. Pickett's on his rookie deal, so yeah,
The
definitely.
cap. Bring it
Yeah,
in.
exactly. Definitely the time. It'll be a great pickup for you guys. I like it. It also make a lot of sense for the Bills. I didn't even think about the Bills because their defense is just getting toasted with injuries. Definitely right.
And
Demar
they've
Hamlin
been
he might be playing soon.
he might. Our comeback player of the year pick might actually work out.
But no, that's a good one.
Yeah, Bills lost a lot. A few injuries, and then definitely lost a lot in the offseason on defense this last offseason with Tremaine and Edmonds, and I think they lost
Yeah.
Hyde, Carlo. What is it, Micah Hyde? Did they say?
Lost Micah Hyde? I thought they had Micah Hyde still.
He
Micah
might be a
Hyde and
free agent
Trent
this
Boyer.
year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it might have been Poyer. They lost one of their safeties, I thought.
I can't remember. I just know. I can't remember off the top of my
I
head. I
can't
just know
remember
that.
either.
Yeah, they're losing, dealing with a lot on defense.
Yeah, they definitely could use the help on defense, but yeah. We'll see if the Broncos trade him. I know they were talking about he's the one untouchable piece, but
No,
the right price can move anybody.
Yeah.
Almost everybody. But, yeah. Back to you, Bryson, with your second pick. Your trade candidate.
So this one's actually going to be kind of a two, just because they came from the same team. Definitely some. What are you laughing at, Jake?
Keep going.
Huh?
I think you're taking my other one, but you go ahead.
Oh, I might have to apologize here, Jake.
No, that's all right. Go
You didn't
ahead.
let me know.
This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Go ahead.
Is it the Commanders?
Oh no, but
No, it's
never
not.
mind. You might be taking my other one, but keep going.
My other one. Okay. Well,
I got backups. So.
okay. As long as you got backups, I don't feel bad. I mean, I do, but I don't feel
Go ahead.
bad.
I want to be surprised.
Well, Commanders, I think, obviously kind of a rough kind of start to the season. Not really any playoff hope at this point. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible, but realistically, if you're looking, could be a good time to start dealing and wheeling. And I think two big names are the two edge rushers, Chase Young, Montrezl Sweat. Definitely both have been playing pretty well this year. We know Young kind of recent years been dealing with injuries, but I think he's definitely kind of had a comeback year this year. finally healthy and is, not too far off from that 2020 campaign he had as a rookie. But definitely big, big name players, at least for the Commanders, especially on the defensive side. So, I mean, they'd be taking tough loss on defense if they dealt. I mean, both of them not as bad if just one, but I know just assuming kind of thoughts from the Commanders camp and players, and kind of seems like a lot of people are just tired of the Commanders and the play and the output in the seasons every year, and just kind of just been in a constant rebuild. Kirk Cousins leaving, Sam Howell coming in. What's that one quarterback they had that was kind of made a short
Taylor
run?
Heineke.
Yeah, Heineke. Just not really a whole lot going for the Commanders, and I think offensively they got a lot of names that definitely, future's bright. Obviously Dodson, Terry McLaurin's still kind of, he's getting older, but he's still pretty decent. Are you betting on Sam Howell? I don't know. I don't know what the Commanders are thinking. I personally don't hate Sam Howell's. I think he's decent. I think he can definitely, develop and get better. Obviously, it's, only his second year, and he didn't really have a full campaign last year. He kind of really only played the end of the season. So these first 6-7 starts have really been his true rookie starts. But yeah, defensively, I know they got a couple young corners, young secondary. I know some of them, facing injuries, but definitely the future's bright in the secondary. But yeah, I think Young and Sweat could be some interesting names that some teams might be looking at. Defensively, I think, like you said, we were talking the Bills. I think the Bills have a lot of questions on defense, kind of more so in the secondary. I know Von Miller just came back from IR, kind of had his reps managed. So I think, obviously we know what Von Miller's capable of. Maybe not as dominant as he once was, but he's still Von Miller. And maybe they look to pick up one of them, Sweat or Young, just to kind of complement him. I think another big team, I'm not sure if they will make a move. The Niners, I think the Niners to combo with Bosa, that could be a good pickup. Maybe even the Eagles. I don't know. The Eagles have a great front seven, but they really don't need it. So I don't see them making a move on it. But I think they more need secondary help, which, obviously we saw the Bird transaction. That's kind of picking up the pieces there. But yeah, I definitely think those are some big names. If the Commanders are looking to deal, those are probably really the only two value players I could see them getting some picks out of. Maybe picks in a player. I don't know. I think as an organization, offensively, they look pretty decent. Maybe look to a running back. I don't know if you love Brian Robinson Jr. and Antonio Gibson. Definitely not Gibson. I think Robinson Jr. is better. Not the greatest, but he does the job when he, nothing flashy, but is decent. But yeah, I like Sweat and Young. Definitely a lot of hype around Young when he came into the league and just riddled with injuries. And he's finally healthy again, and he's been playing well. So.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Sweat contract, but I'm pretty sure Chase is probably going to be gone. I know Steelers were talking about trading for him, so I kind of know a little bit about him, but I know that the Commanders didn't pick up his 5th round option, I believe. So
Fifth year, yeah, they did not.
This is going to be his final year, so might as well get something from him, because definitely can get something in return for a player with that much upside, especially now that we got to see him back out there healthy and not really have an injury problem so far in the season. Hopefully for him, it can stay that way. But yeah, definitely Commanders should be in sell mode.
Yeah, it was a twofer, only because it was the same team.
No.
And
I
the
forgot the
same
third one.
exact position. Well,
We got Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the
I
safest
don't know.
guy.
I felt like
I'm just kidding.
I feel like Sweat is definitely can get more value than Jonathan Allen. I don't know, me personally.
Honestly,
I like Sweat.
their whole D line is that good. They could all at least garner day two, not day two, the
I don't
second or
know.
first.
It is an edge rusher league. I feel like.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I always think Sweat is older than he really is. I can never get his age right, so that's also
Sweat
making
is
me
the
that
same year as our Sweat because I wanted to draft both of them.
much. Is there another Sweat? Because I felt like I seen Sweat in the league for a
Yeah,
minute.
the Eagle Sweat. That's it.
No, I know you're
Both.
Sweat, but I felt like there's another one that's older. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know.
I
Not
don't
that
know
I
why.
know
I
of.
just feel like he's been in the league for a minute, but he really hasn't. But
Or is it pronounced Sweat or Sweet?
Sweat.
Sweat.
Montez
I don't know, I
Sweat.
feel like
Yeah.
he could go by Sweet, even though it's not really spelled Sweet, but just to be.
We got the better Sweat though with the sack.
All right.
Best sack celebration. Best.
All right, Jake. Moving on. Give us your next name.
Like I said, I definitely have a lot of names I could go, but honestly, I have a lot of receivers and I got a lot of D linemen. So I went defensive lineman already, so I'll go receiver on this other one. I wanted to go. If I was gonna go D line, I was gonna go Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans. I was gonna put for the same team that I'm gonna choose, but I'll go the receiver on this one. Stick with Commanders, Terry McLaurin. Finally get rid of him. Maybe he wants. I mean, he's not one to complain or anything, but they got John Dotson already. I think they're happy with what they've seen from him. I mean, I think maybe they wish they could see more this year, but I think they'd be willing to move on from Terry McLaurin and team that needs to bolster up on. I'm not saying star power, but they just need more talent. They definitely want to hit the Super Bowl window. The Lions, they need more talent. Yes, they have Amon Ra. They have Sam Laporta, rookie tight end, and then they have Gibbs and Montgomery in the backfield. But definitely need another complimentary receiver. I don't think Jameson Williams is gonna cut it for them. I think they need another solid. Not even solid. He's definitely an underrated receiver. I think we
Oh
all
yeah, no, he's.
we all feel the same way. Yeah, and I think he could be it. Take them over the top. They're missing.
Terry.
I feel like they're missing a little bit more star power. So I was gonna go Jeffrey Simmons, but I think Terry McLaurin's a good one.
I like that Lions one.
And I think
I
we all
didn't think
want
about it as you were talking about it, but when you said it, I was like, oh, damn, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, like you said,
Terry on a different team.
oh yeah.
Cut me off one more time, Bryce.
I'm sorry.
I swear.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, it would be interesting to see him play for somebody else. A team that could actually be relevant in the playoff.
He's the best quarterback.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen what he can do with the level of QB play he's had. Howell, Heineke.
He deserves better.
Yeah, definitely deserves better.
I want the Lions to trade for somebody this big.
Yeah,
I want to see it happen.
I know the name of Jameson Williams coming in. Obviously, we expected a lot. Just coming out of college, we thought he was going to be good. Definitely hasn't been living up to the hype. And then when your backups are Josh Reynolds and I don't know his first name, something Raymond.
Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, Khalif Raymond. Yeah. I mean, luckily Laporta's been phenomenal, but
yeah, great.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one. To see Amon-Ra and McLaurin. Yeah.
My other guess for him would be the Chiefs. I still think they need a trade for a receiver.
Yeah, no, they definitely need a receiver.
If you have Super Bowl contention, you need a receiver.
I mean, I
don't think
I didn't love the Hardman pickup. I felt like that was. I felt like that was just like.
They want familiarity at that point.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
And they don't have anyone really right now that can blow the top off of defense, so it's not the worst pick.
Hey, pounding the table for this one. Kyle Pitts. They gotta make it happen.
I mean, oh gosh, I would love for Kyle Pitts to go anywhere
I
other
mean,
than the Falcons. Like, holy
I
shit.
don't know
I
how that
mean,
works.
honestly, he's more of a receiver. His build is not. He's just big, really long and lengthy. He's more of a receiver than he actually is like
I
a
mean, yeah, the build is, but
inline
he still
tight
too
end.
many doesn't have receiver speed.
Yeah, and Travis
Well,
Kelce's more like a receiver too, and that's why I'm like, I don't know how they would work
well, they
together.
use him in the slot though. Kyle Pitts can line up wide. That was the whole point of him coming out of college. Like, oh, tight end, receiver. What do we want to use him at? I trust. I trust Andy Reid to figure it out.
I wonder what he would be worth, because his stats don't say much, but
Well, they can get a
as an
bargain. That's all
athlete,
I know.
Yeah, it'd definitely be. Definitely, it had to be bargain, because obviously, like
Yeah.
us as like from the outside could be like, yeah, Kyle Pitts is this athletic freak of nature where in the right system he would be absolutely phenomenal, but like in the NFL organizations, GMs, coaches looking at it, they're like, well, doesn't matter what the hell he is, he's been crap for the Falcons, and it might
he
not be
just
his
hasn't.
fault, but
I don't know if it's. I feel like he doesn't have much bad tape. It's just not much of him being used.
That, but he's also got the
I
dinged
can
up
see
knee,
that,
right?
yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
it'd
know.
be interesting.
It's got to, yeah, you can definitely get value out of it.
I wish it's not gonna happen. Kyle Pitts don't want to happen so badly.
I mean, yeah, we've just the track record of Arthur Smith just wasting talent. And it's probably going
All,
to happen with Bijan again.
all three of them. Bijan,
Drake and
Pitts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Exit out the Falcons. Just dismantle their whole team and just give it to other people.
Yes, please. They all deserve better.
Just
They all
disband
do.
that team.
Yeah, and we'll just have a draft of Falcons
Just
players.
everybody just gets a pick.
Oh.
Just a bidding war for Falcons players.
Yeah, that's a good pick. My last free candidate. I was gonna go Jerry Judy, but I feel like I don't know. Steve Smith called him a bum, so I don't think he gets traded no more.
Oof.
So, as much as I
Oh,
loved him,
for a 7.
huh?
You can for a 7. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't think.
yeah. I'm gonna go with the veteran in a position we haven't picked yet. I'm gonna say Zach Ertz.
Ooh,
I think
I
Zach
like that.
Ertz gets moved. We all
I
know what the
was.
Cardinals are doing. Kind of tanking at this point,
Yeah.
hoping for that quarterback of the future. Second pick might not be too bad. Might not have to give up too much to move to number one at that point. So might as well start offloading some pieces, get some things in return to help your case to move up in the draft. Because right now it looks like the Panthers are going to have that number one pick, and everyone's going to be giving packages for it. So, but
Yeah.
I think Zach Ertz is a player they can move on. They've already, I feel like the Cardinals already kind of cycled through their tight ends. It doesn't get too much playing time. They go through McBride and can't remember the third name for their tight end, but I see him a good amount as well too. And I know Zach Ertz. Was he on the Eagles team when you guys won the Super Bowl? Was right.
Yes. Yes.
He was.
He was
Okay.
still. He was still in good company when he was with us.
Okay. But I wasn't sure. I didn't know if he left the year before or after. But I think it's time to move on. I know a lot of teams would especially love a veteran of his caliber in their locker room. So
We'll take him
my
back.
two. That was actually one of my guesses. I was gonna guess a reunion with the Eagles. I feel like besides your O line, you guys kind of have a young cast of playmakers, or at least offensive playmakers. AJ Brown, I think, is your guys' oldest
Receiver?
player.
Julio.
Oh yeah, Julio.
Yeah, we need
Wait, in the receivers you talking about, or just in
I mean,
general?
of like the offensive playmakers, like
Oh,
skill
playmaker.
position. It is Julio. Yeah, but I feel like the Eagles would love him, especially Goddard. Give Goddard kind of split him with Goddard again, but have Goddard be the head this time, which would be kind of fun to see again. Definitely that duo. And yeah, Eagles love getting veteran players for a bargain, so I can see this be another one they go after. And the other team that kind of needs him more, I think, not just like the Eagles where they just trade for anyone that's you get a bargain on, would be the Dolphins. Kind of don't really know any of their tight ends right now.
Oh,
I
yeah,
definitely
who are
think
their
they would.
tight ends?
They can't. He knows he has no yak, so therefore they can't trade for him.
But I feel like they need to get him something where it's just a target that is gonna catch contested passes. Because I love Waddle and Tyreek, but they're not known for your contested
Yeah, they
catches.
need a big body.
Also,
There's just no
unless they
yak
cha-
Zach. I'm sorry.
unless they change Chase Claypool to tight end, which I really would love
He
to
is.
see.
Have you
I would
seen
love to see it.
Have you seen that thing where it was like teams' records with Claypool and after Claypool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
He missed a double team block in the Eagles game. Reddick just wrecked the play.
he don't block.
Yeah,
Does
he
not do
just
that.
ran. He didn't help his other tight end. He just ran past him, and then Reddick just grabbed Mostert. So
Well, he will be like every other tight end in the league if he becomes a tight end, just a receiving tight end. So it is fine. He
I'm
has the
sorry.
size.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble. That's a trade I would like to see, but he's on IR. It could still happen.
Oh, he did just get put on IR.
Yeah, that's true.
He was one of the guys I was thinking of. I was like, please come back.
That could be so
Yeah.
much value though.
It
Get
could.
him for
It
so
could still happen.
cheap.
I mean,
It could. I forgot.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I burst my
Yep.
bubble a little bit, but
Sorry. Can't have another one.
is it 4 weeks minimum, right?
Yeah, 4 weeks at least.
I don't know if someone could throw seventh for that.
Yeah, you know, we'll
Tentatively,
swap out.
maybe.
We'll swap out somebody for him.
You guys don't need anything else, okay?
I
You
want
guys can
Zach Ertz to
relax.
be on the team and we get another Super Bowl ring. All right, he's got to be on the team. You know, he got the game-winning touchdown for us in the first one. He's got to be there for the second.
I'm already not happy with your team for trading Terrell. It was disrespectful to my man.
You want to know how that phone call went? It went like it sounded like this. You know how he's calling him during the game right after that play happened. He got burned. He's like, you up? They're like, yeah. You watching the game? Yep. Well, I'm on Bayard. And then they're just asking, what you got? I got a Coke and I got a cheesesteak. And I'll throw in this safety that you're seeing get burnt on national TV. And that was it. Struck a deal. Like that.
It's disrespectful. Terrell's worth more.
I liked him, but he was a major liability.
You can't put him in coverage. He has to play in the box. He's a strong safety, not a free.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you gotta rotate, you know. And he was just caught flat-footed at that point.
Titans cut him and him come back home. Come back home.
Yeah, we'll take him back. We'll take him
No,
back. No worries.
We want
take him
Terrell.
back. He knows our system. We'll take him back once they cut him.
He likes playing with Minka better. Okay.
All right. He ain't gonna sniff a ring then.
We'll see about that. All right. Well, that wraps up our trade candidates. We kind of see game moves before the October 31st trade deadline. Definitely be something we'll keep an eye on. Keep updated on our socials. So definitely make sure to check that out. Right. Be as up to date as possible with that. Too much promises with that, but we'll try our best. Yeah. Definitely put in the comments if you guys have any trade candidates that you guys think will get moved or anyone that you would love to see your team trade for. Let us know. And yeah, hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell and catch us on our next video. Next one will probably be our reactions to week 8. Until then, shoots.
Dudes.
Shoots.